Instead of swing, Xavier goes down the middle, slam dunk.
Get dunked on, bro.
So I got a double dunk here, and one of them is a quick one. Well, they'll both be kind of quick. I'm going to dunk just for a little bit, even though he's been playing good on Brock Purdy because he was awful. He was absolute dog shit, Jay. I know you like him. I don't know if you watched the game, but he looked like Nathan Peterman out there. It's like, all of a sudden.
His first bad game starting since like last year, and Chaz is going to bring it up.
All of a sudden, you don't have Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, and you're back down to earth. Now, here's the excuses for Brock Purdy. Well, he didn't have Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. Well, he still had Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, right? So, it's not like he was out there with dog water. So
yeah, and Kittle didn't do anything. He caught one pass for 10 yards.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, whatever. He's been playing good, but he had his first bad game. Good. I'm so happy Brock Purdy lost his first fucking game. Thank the fucking heavens that Brock Purdy lost his first fucking game. So now he could just go out and be a quarterback. You know what I mean? He could go out and play, maybe be good, maybe be bad. He doesn't have this fucking I'm undefeated over his head now. It's just I'm so sick of the media, but he looked awful. And I was and then I was going to dunk on Jalen Hurts a little bit, but he still played really good. I just can't believe they lost that game. Jalen Hurts played well. And I cannot believe the Jets won that game. That was wild to me. Two major upsets. So those are my dunks. But the real dunk was and another one that's going to piss off Jay, or it might make Jay laugh. Logan Thomas. Fuck you, Logan Thomas.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you.
Bro, Logan Thomas, you come off of a 9 fucking reception game last week, and you get 1 for 6 yards, man.
Yeah, that was right.
Go back where you belong. Take that old quarterback behind the shed. Please.
I'm going to say fuck you, and also fuck Logan, because you were the one who's we should Old Take expose you, because last episode you were like, yeah, if Logan Thomas is out there, you better pick him up and start him.
You should have picked him up, absolutely. And
I did pick him up, and I did start him, and he got me 1 fucking point. So
that's who I was talking to, because you played him against me. No,
that's fantastic.
Because he's been playing well. But this is what happens to players like him, which are he's not elite by any means. He's just there, right? He plays some good games.
He's basically every tight end.
But he's doing good. He has a big game. He's going up against a top 5 tight end matchup. And of course, once you get all those things that come in, that's what you get, right?
Yeah, I'm actually going to piggyback off this too, because my get dunked on is the entire tight end position outside of Travis.
Agreed.
Okay, especially for a fantasy aspect of it. If you don't have Travis Kelce and sometimes Mark Andrews, it is an absolute crapshoot on who is going to do well and who's not. We have Logan Thomas, and I said this in the group chat, or maybe talking to somebody else. He asked me about Logan Thomas. I made a trade in one of my other leagues that was for Kyren Williams, and I ended up getting Kyle Pitts in return because I traded George Kittle as well, and blah blah blah. And of course, I didn't start Kyle Pitts. I started Logan Thomas because I had him already in my starting roster. But my reasoning was he had multiple touchdowns during the last 3 games. I think he scored a touchdown in each game, and he was, and like you said, 9 reception game last week, and he had massive points. But it is just you're never going to get that every week from consistent tight ends unless you're Travis Kelce and literally the focal point of the offense. And sometimes Mark Andrews, depending on how Lamar decides he wants to play football that day, and if he's going to throw to him or not. The tight end position, in my opinion, I am done with it. I hate it. It sucks. It is so hard. It forces you to take Kelce so early, because if you don't get him, and I'll even say Andrews, if you can get him in the 3rd round.
No, don't even say.
But you can't. If you don't get Kelce in the 1st round, you don't get him, and then that's it. That's your tight end position is just completely shot for the entire season.
Well, that's why I was always high on building about taking Travis Kelce in the 1st or 2nd round, because if you take Travis Kelce in the 1st round, then you're going to be weak at running back or receiver or something. But you should be good enough to replace a wide receiver 2 with somebody. If you took Travis Kelce and then you picked up Puka Nacua, you're set. You're golden. But no, you're going to sit there and you're going to take somebody else there in the 1st round. You're going to take A.J. Brown, which is fine. fine. AJ Brown's been fine. Travis Kelce's been fine. But now you're starting Logan Thomas. No, you need to take Travis Kelce, or you outsmarted everybody, and you took Mark Andrews at the second round or the third round instead of taking somebody much better. And Mark Andrews isn't much better than Zach Ertz this year. So when we joke around and say it's Kelce or bust, we fucking mean it. It's not Kelce or bust, maybe Andrews, Adam. It's Kelce or bust. Because whoever took Mark Andrews instead of Keenan Allen. How stupid do you feel now? If you took Mark Andrews instead of Keenan Allen, how dumb do you feel? If you took Mark Andrews instead of another third-round receiver, I don't know, Devontae Smith. He's not great, but way better than what Mark Andrews is doing. But you had to take him there because he's so great. No, he's not good. It's Travis Kelce or bust. All of us, at least I believe, didn't take any tight ends to the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th round in the fan. Why? Because that's what you do. You don't run out and take fucking T.J. Hawkinson in the third round because he's the next tight end up. You're not going to take Dallas Goedert in the 4th round because look at him now. I mean, they're all clumped up where they should be. The big argument of Pitts and Goddard and Freiermuth that we all had, Freiermuth got hurt, but look how god-awful that offense is. I don't think Freiermuth would be up there. And Pitts and Goddard are probably the same, which are tied with probably fucking Tyler Higbee and Logan Thomas. It's and it is what it is, and you just need to adjust, and that's why we hate it, but your team should be good enough elsewhere. You're really feeling it if you took George Kittle in the 4th round.
Chaz,
definitely. I hate George Kittle has been so frustrating, which is why I traded him. He had one good fucking week. Last week he had 2 touchdowns, whatever it was. But that's how he's always been.
Yep.
When they had Jimmy G is I don't even know what to say, but exactly. That's about all. But he used George Kittle a lot more than and than Brock Purdy does. I'm not saying Brock Purdy's bad because he did have a bad game last week against the Browns after they just absolutely killed the Cowboys last week. But just the whole tight end position is just shit. It sucks if you don't have Kelce, and Kelsey's up there in age. So how long are we going
to? Adam, you disappeared voice wise. There you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I got a phone call. So the bad thing about getting it on my phone is when I get phone calls, it mutes everything. But anyway, like I was saying, Kelsey's up there in age. He's in his 30s now. So how long do we have Kelce for?
He's 30
more years, maybe
33.
He's 33, right?
Yeah.
So, and Andrews is up there too, and Kittle's up there, and these guys are up there. I think the next youngest one is and one decent is Hawkinson, who's still in his 20s, I think. I don't have their ages.
You do got young guys coming up.
But you have young guys coming up like Kincaid and Laporta, and Kyle Pitts. As much as you want to shit on him, I think Atlanta is finally using them how they're supposed to. But the whole tight end position, and once Kelsey's gone, you just forget the whole tight end position. And I think it's really going to change the tight end position a lot because we won't have that tight end in the first few rounds. You can have your tight end in the later rounds like it's supposed to, like it was in the beginning of fantasy football or whatever.
Well, Jay, I did you dunk on Thomas or did you have something else?
No, I had something else, but I'm putting you on notice. I'm going on strike until you get rid of the tight end position next year for fantasy.
I still like having it because I feel the tight end position is a play. Like it's your play. You take Kelce early, or you wait and you take somebody late, and that's part of it. I mean, the guy who has Kelce in all my leagues isn't in first place.
I'll be on strike until you get rid of it.
The guy who has Kelce is not in first place in all my leagues.
In all my leagues, the guy who has Kelce is not in first place. Yeah. So that is definitely not the defining, guy.
Yeah.
So I feel
that right there should
it makes it interesting. It makes you do something. So a lot of people like talking about getting rid of it.
You misspelled frustrating wrong when you said interesting.
But that's how I go.
It is a frustrating position, yeah. You know, and that's it too. And the thing with Kelsey is Kelsey is 20 points or it's a bad week, right? In fantasy football. Every other tight end in the league, they get you 10. It's a good
Yeah.
week for a tight end.
Yeah. Oh, for
You
sure.
know, but then when guys get under 10, it's like, what the fuck were you even doing on the field? Were you even there?
Yeah.
So it is a frustrating position, especially as fantasy owners, and it sucks sometimes picking a daily lineup where you have to pick a tight end. And any daily league that I'm in, Kelsey is my first choice if he's available, and then I figure out the rest of the roster.
So Jay, what's your official dunk?
Well, I see your double dunk, and I'm gonna raise you the quadruple dunk.
Oh shit.
I'm
Oh, boy.
dunking on all of last night. The Bills, the Giants, the refs, the fans, all of it.
Wow.
All
Why the
around.
fans? Just 'cause
Wow.
the dumb things they're saying on Twitter.
Yeah, because they're annoying and they're dumb. The Bills because they played like shit. The Giants because they were scumbags starting fucking fights. They apparently intentionally stepped on one of our linemen. I
yeah.
can't think of his name.
Dawkins, right?
Dawkins.
Yeah, Dawkins intentionally stepped on him, threw Spencer Brown around, starting shit. The refs for just horrible calls, both sides of the ball. And then the stupid, like, they wait 2 different times for those personal fouls. They wasted like 10 fucking minutes talking
Mhm.
about it to just be like, after like 10 minutes, they're like, you know what? Just let's do offsetting penalties because we have no idea what the hell's going on anymore. And it's like,
Yeah.
you wasted
And-
10 minutes to do that. You should have just been like, all right, offsetting penalties, boom, done. Instead of talking
Yeah,
about
I agree.
chit-chat for forever.
Yeah, and that's I hate that rule. I hate the offsetting penalty rule because to me, if I'm watching a game and I see 2 guys commit a penalty, like, you know, 2 guys get into a roughing, you know, a roughing scenario where there unnecessary roughness penalties called on both teams. Basically, that gives everybody the okay to just, all right, well, they already have 2 penalties that they're going to offset regardless. Let's just everybody get involved and see how many penalties we can get in this skirmish that we got going on here. So it basically hurts whoever only got, you know, 1 unnecessary roughness penalty as opposed to the team that got 4 in the same play. Like, I think there might have to be some sort of change on the offsetting penalty rule and just,
Yeah.
hey,
Like,
hey, you got a defensive holding. That's only a 5-yard penalty. Okay, but the offense got a holding penalty. So that's a 10-yard penalty. Well, it's not going to offset. They're going to lose 5 yards and take the difference because they committed the foul that has the most yards. Not that it's going to happen. The NFL, they don't change rules for shit.
yeah.
Especially when it comes to
last
penalties.
night,
But
the second skirmish that we had, and they're like, yeah, personal foul, and they read off like 3 Giants players, and they go, Bills, all right, 1 player, and they're like, offsetting. It's like, whoa, they just got 3 personal foul. What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
so
I would at least like to be like, I would like it to either if there are 2 penalties on one on each team, just if they actually if they're the same yardage, offset them.
Yeah.
If the yardages are different, then take the difference, award it to the team that committed the penalty, who, you know, the most yards against, whatever.
Yeah.
And then if there's a case where there's multiple penalties on one team and one, you know, like in that case, it's 1 penalty against the Bills and 3 penalties against the Giants. Like, okay, then the penalty should be in favor of the Bills, and they should get the yards for that.
Yep.
It's a crazy system, and I hate it, but they probably won't make the change.
No.
I mean, that would have to be something that somebody brings up.
Well, unless Taylor Swift wants them to make a change.
Well,
That's,
sometimes you
she
need
calls
that
up Roger Goodell and says, "Hey, your penalty policy is really fucked up. You should do this." Then,
well, I'm adding a quick another dunk on before we move on to Il Tremonto Amaretto, because I cannot fucking open you. And I tried, and I've got a knife, and I got a bottle opener, and it says it's a screw top.
Take a hammer to it.
I can't even.
Are you sure, dude? Is there Is there like a plastic film on there that you have to take off first?
Yeah, but I can't even get the fucking peel off. I've tried. I got a knife fucking cutting it. It won't even cut through the fucking plastic film. I think I just need to get like a big pair of pliers and say, fuck it, Stefan Diggs is down there somewhere and try to get it off. All right. Before we move on to
That's
the
right.